Now back to McGraw in the Morning on the Big 550 KTRS. This hour is presented by Affordable Kitchens and Baths. Visit them today at affordablekitchensandbaths.net.
Yes, Paul Harris filling in for McGraw this morning. Time for our weekly visit with Feast Magazine. Kat Neville is off today, so managing editor of the magazine, Brandi Wills, is here. Good morning, Brandi.
Good morning, Paul. Thanks for having me in.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So what do you have on your desktop here this morning?
Well, a couple of new restaurants. The first one is Windowsills Cafe and Market. We did a little write-up of it in this month's Feast, so you can go there and look at some photos and things like that if you want. But it's at 1326 Clarkson Clayton Center in Ellisville. So it's in one of those like Dearborn centers.
Yep.
And the thing that really struck me about Windowsills that I really like there is that everything that they serve you is made in-house. So they do a lot of like barbecue type stuff, like meats and ribs and chicken, stuff like that. And they brine and smoke all of their own meats. And if you get, like maybe some sliders or something like that, the bread that it comes on is completely made in-house.
Wow.
All of the sides are made in-house. So, it's becoming more and more popular in restaurants for people to be making everything that they put out to you from scratch.
Really? I would think that's an enormous effort for a restaurant to not only worry about the meats and the sauces and the salads and all that sort of stuff, but to also have to bake all the bread.
Right. And exactly. But they're doing it, and it's a world of difference. It's great. They have these little beef tenderloin sliders that come with a horseradish dipping sauce. And the brioche buns that they come on they're just amazing. Just like it's so different than opening up a package of buns and putting the meats on there. It's like if you spend all of that time making this delicious, in-house meats and everything, and then just to put it on a packaged bun, you kind of have negated all your efforts.
Yeah.
But they also have an excellent pastry case. And so on top of baking their own bread, they do pies. They have like all these different cream pies, which I absolutely love cream pie. And they do some fruit pies too. Beautiful little fruit tarts, little lemon meringue tarts, cookies, brownies, gooey butter cake, the whole bit. And so I don't know what time they get up in the morning, but when you go in there, there's a fresh pastry case full of really good treats that are made in-house.
Wow. Okay. The place is called Windowsills?
Windowsills Cafe and Market. And I have to put a little plug in here. I wrote about it in the magazine, but I have to keep saying it. Their mac and cheese is incredible. Like any place that does barbecue is only... You'll always walk in and say, "What's your best side?" The mac and cheese. Our mac and cheese is the best, And while it's never like terrible, it's like okay, it's good mac and cheese. But the mac and cheese at Windowsills is amazing. It's made to order, so when you order it, they make it so it hasn't been sitting around in a pan or whatever all day
with
waiting
the cheese
for you.
hardening.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't get that film on top. Or anything.
Yeah, mac and cheese with skin. No, thank you.
Yeah. So. So it's like the fresh al dente noodles and a nice warm cheese sauce. They put toasted breadcrumbs on top. It's amazing.
When did mac and cheese become cool again?
It's always been cool.
No, I know. It was always the thing that we ate when we were kids.
Right.
Mom, what can I have today? What do you want? Mac and cheese. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. For a long time, it was like mac and cheese was a boxed thing, and now it's like you come back and places are making this like gourmet mac and cheese with
but that's only
truffle oil in it and bacon and all this like really fancy stuff.
That's only the last 4 or 5 years, right? Or has it been longer than that?
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Windowsills is excellent, and it's Windowsills Cafe and Market, and the market side is interesting because they have all this the stuff from local businesses, So they have some of their own candies that they make, but also you can get Augusta wines and you can get honey that's harvested in Labadie, Missouri. They have cacao chocolate, so they kind of keep with that kind of theme of like artisan made, locally made kind of stuff. So to kind of go along with the food that they have there, you can grab a bottle of wine and some chocolates and stuff and take it home too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Where else have you visited recently?
Kazlik Restaurant, which is a Mediterranean place. It's up at 8141 North Lindbergh in Florissant. And I really personally love Mediterranean food. I love all that like hummus and baba ganoush and tabbouleh and falafel and all of that stuff. And so that's the kind of stuff that they do there. It's
hard to find a place that has great hummus.
It really is.
Too many of them, it's too chalky. Other places, they put too much tahini oil in it. It's too oily and liquid and that sort of stuff.
And actually, I would say that the hummus over at Kazlik is really good. I took some home with me last night, and we had a friend over, and he was like, "This is the best hummus I've ever had," and he
Wow.
was just like,
That's saying something.
wouldn't stop eating it. But yeah, it's very good. And so at Kazlik, they do a lot of, the staples. They have like the shawarma and the kibbeh and
Kebabs.
Yeah, and kebabs. Yeah, so a lot of that stuff. And with Mediterranean cooking, the ingredients and the flavorings and things like that are very mild, so you're talking about like parsley and mint and lemon and things like that. So what's really important is to have a good balance of those spices. You don't have anything really strong like you do with curry or like anything that has like a really it's not very salty, it's not super salty, it doesn't have these big bold spices in it. They're mild spices. So what's great is to have that good balance, and Kazlik has that. I talked with the guys there and asked, like the Mediterranean, that's a pretty big, area. Is there a certain part that you guys are focusing on in your restaurant? And he says, a lot of these dishes you'll find, everywhere. You'll find falafel throughout there. You'll find hummus throughout there, things like that. So he himself was Egyptian, and they had, some like Pakistani folks working there. And so he's like, we all kind of bring that, that way of cooking, a different way of spicing. A different country spice things differently.
Because it used to be if you went for Mediterranean food, it was Greek.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So you'd go out and it'd be like just, Greek or, some Italian or something in there. But now you're getting a lot of these like Syrian and Persian and Lebanese and all of this stuff kind of like popping up in St. Louis. And we have really great Mediterranean food here in St. Louis. So, but yeah, Kazlik does a really nice balance of everything. They have really good falafel too, which there's a lot of bad falafel out there. So to say that somebody has a really well seasoned, really tasty falafel, I think is a compliment.
Okay, a couple of great examples of what you'll find in Feast magazine this month. Anything else we need to hit on?
Yeah, we've got some events coming up that are pretty exciting. We've been partnering with the folks over at Annie Guns to do a couple of different events. And Annie Guns is out in Chesterfield, for those who don't know.
Just look for the pig on the roof.
Exactly. It's very big. So they did a dinner at the James Beard House in New York back in October of 2012. And they cooked an amazing meal and paired it with all of these award-winning Missouri wines. So this Thursday, they're going to recreate that dinner out at their restaurant. And so this is a really special experience to be able to, to try all those foods with these amazing wine pairings and really get this great Missouri wine, in with these meals. It's $150 a person. And you can find all the information for that on feaststl.com. And then in April, we're doing another event with Lou. Lou Rook is the chef out there at Annie Guns. And he has a new book out called Rook's Cooks. And it's an excellent cookbook. And so on Sunday, April 21st, we're going to do a Sunday supper with Chef Lou. And so at like 4 o'clock that day, everybody will go out there and it's, I think, maybe $65 a ticket. I think that's right. That information's on the website too. But so we'll go out there and hang out with Lou, and he'll do a supper that's kind of like a tasting of different things from the cookbook. He'll demo some of those dishes. And then do a book signing at the end. And we're working with Left Bank Books on that, and they're really great partners for us, too.
Very nice. All right, all the information on the website, feaststl.com. And, of course, you can pick up Feast magazine pretty much everywhere around town. Brandi Wills, managing editor of Feast. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
This is the Big 550 KTRS.